words. Who cares about the words? Forget the words. So it's called Sufism or Tasawwuf or whatever. These words have not been used. The word, literally, Tasawwuf is from the word Suf. Suf means, wool. So some people who used to go, do ibadah for Allah, some of them used to wear wool, etc. So from that they became known as Sufi and so on. Some said it's like from the word Saf, like they used to pray Salah, and like they've always been the first, Saf, first row. So from there they be whatever. That term is not important. But what is important, which the problem is that there's so many side issues that people argue about, but the real essence which the whole Muslim Ummah agrees upon, even those people who argue for and against those side issues, everyone's neglectful of that real objective. The ones who keep on arguing about the tasawwuf, that it's proven this, that, even they are neglectful of the main thing, and even those who are arguing against it. What is that main thing? The main objective, which is an obligation on every Muslim, which is tazkiyah. Tazkiyah of the heart. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. The Quran says, the one who has purified the soul has achieved success. One of the reasons why Allah's Messenger ﷺ was sent to the world was وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. Tazkiyah means what? Is that we all have these blameworthy animalistic traits. Greed. If you see animals, they are greedy. We are greedy. Yeah, we are like animals, basically. If you've taken, if you've gone to like a zoo or a pond and you've got a bit of bread, you've taken your children, my son and daughter, when they fight, I took them both to a small pond and then gave, and he said, okay, feed the bread. The swans and the ducks that are fighting, and there's a big one and not letting the small one. And I said, look, when you two fight, that's you, the two ducks. Now, every time when they start, I want that toy, I want it. Ducks, are you ducks? No, we're good people, we're not selfish. We're not ducks. I took them many years ago and I showed them 2-3 times the ducks how they are. I said, we're not ducks, we are human beings. So this greed, hirs and greed and jealousy and hatred and pride and arrogance, all these are animalistic traits. It is an obligation, fard, on every Muslim. Just like praying Fajr is fard, upon every Muslim it is fard ayn, to work on their hearts and remove themselves, rid themselves of these blameworthy spiritual diseases. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to work on it. Pride and arrogance, I want to work on it. How can I become humble? Replace them with humility. Replace greed with selflessness. Replace love of dunya with love of Allah. All these things, this is called tazkiyah. Tazkiyah means purification of the heart. This is an obligation. And this is agreed upon by everybody, and that is what really tasawwuf is supposed to be. It's just tazkiyah of the heart. Working on the heart, removing all these, working on all these spiritual diseases, which is important, replacing them with good qualities. Of sabr, of patience, of humility. This is called tazkiyah, and this is the central objective of what some people call tasawwuf. That's the central objective. And that is what's important. That's 90% of everything. That's it. Everyone agrees on this. End of story, nothing to fight about. Then that 10% on the side, there are issues where some people argue about, which they say that those 10% helps you achieve that 90%. But what happens, they spend their whole life arguing about that 10% and they forget the 90%. So the central part is what's an objective, and then on the side there are issues, small issues, people can have two opinions about them. But those issues are, those people who are for it, they are for it because they say that's the means to achieve that, what I just said, removing the diseases. Like, for example, you should have a shaykh, and you should do this, and give bai'ah, this, that. And then some people go overboard, and they start doing, really crazy things as well. But if somebody wants to agree, fine. Somebody doesn't want to agree, fine. As long as everyone knows that tazkiyah is important, and you're working on your tazkiyah, then it's an end of story.
I've noticed you have been a student of Justice Taqi Usmani Sahab. In this challenging world and times that we live in, where at some point in time, knowingly, unknowingly, or if we want to or unwantingly, we are getting exposed to an interest-based system. And how do we, what do you suggest? How do we
I
say,
said money was
sometimes, people want to send our children to colleges, expensive education, and sometimes, we are getting this exposure that we want to avoid.
I think even last year when I came here, when I talked about, there was quite a few questions on things like this, but it is a very difficult time we're living in, because that's why the hadith, where the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in Sahih Bukhari that a time will come on the people that interest will be so widespread that even if you're not directly involved, asabahu min bukharihi, you will get the effects of it. Amazing, it's forecast. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that everyone will get the effect of interest, riba. It starts with taking it seriously and knowing that it's a sin, because the issue is, look, when you aim for big, you get big. When you aim for small, you get small. When you know, people just say, oh, it's too difficult, we live in a time. If you make your mind and intention that, look, that's where it starts. We take it seriously. We think this is haram. This is a major sin. This is a sin. Allah has said, أَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَّمَ riba. Allah has made the riba haram. This is something that Allah has said, فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Declaration of war. It starts off, once we realize the seriousness of it, it starts off with that. Because, the worst thing is when people start making, because they can't act upon it, they just start making excuses and this. And we live in a time where people want to change everything just because you can't act upon it. Look, if you can't do something, no one's a perfect Muslim. We all make mistakes. At least if you acknowledge, then inshallah there will be one day, and Allah can forgive us all sometimes, but at least we acknowledge I'm a weak servant of Allah, I'm trying my best, inshallah, I'm working, I want to be a good Muslim, I want to do this, I want to pray, I want to avoid sin, rather than say, no, but it's not, I don't believe in this and this and that. So the worst situation is when someone's ill and they don't realize they're ill. When you're ill and you realize I am ill, then inshallah shifa and cure can come. But if you don't even think, no, I'm not actually ill, then how are you going to be cured? So that's when it starts off with. And then inshallah, each different situation, we can look into it, how we can avoid the riba. There's possibilities. It's difficult sometimes, like student loans and fees and things like that. But this is where the community needs to work together. Muslims, when there's a will, there's a way. We can learn a lot from the Jews. The Jews, when they know something is haram in their religion, they will do everything and anything in their power to give all of the people an opportunity. I know Jews are less than Muslims, so it's possible sometimes, but they're very, very particular. If you look at the meat process, the laws, we think Islamic dhabiha halal laws are strict. Nothing compared to the Jews. For them, the meat can't be eaten until the rabbi doesn't come and bless it. Nobody can eat. First, he has to come and he has to blow on it, only then it's halal, kosher. There's just extreme laws. But they will give everything because they take it seriously. This in England, and I'm sure here as well, post-mortem, after death, when they were doing post-mortems, so even according to Jewish law, post-mortems are not allowed. Even in Islam, it's not allowed, but by law, if you have to, then you have to, because, for a criminal investigation, whatever. So every Jewish community, they've all invested money, and they've got this massive, but this kind of a machine that costs good 30,000-40,000 pounds or something, I don't know, really expensive. They're all basically, which is an alternative for a post-mortem. So anywhere where the law says you have to do an X-ray, you have this alternative, and the body will be X-rayed through that, the dead body, and will avoid. Now they've got it everywhere, and for every Jewish person, there's no need for them to do X-ray because they put the money in for that. So if we take seriously our religion, then we can do a lot of things. We can help our Muslim community avoid things, inshallah. That's just a general answer. But of course, specifics are difficult right now, inshallah. Is that it, inshallah? Anyone else? Okay, inshallah. Jazakallah.
Alhamdulillah, I think it's time for a shot. So quickly, the Sheikh has more lectures going on in and around the vicinity. So let me quickly say, today after Maghrib at Masjid Quba in Brooklyn, New York, and tomorrow at Maghrib, Jamaica Muslim Center, and April 8th that's tomorrow after Zohar in Muslim Center of New York. And we thank Jazakumullah Khair for him to take all that from his travel to take time to come here for us and to give this. And also I thank Baidul Ham for bringing the Sheikh to the masjid, giving him company and being a rahaba for him. Also, I'd like to lastly mention that we have some more visitors. They are traveling from Kerala, India. They are in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are in New York, they are visiting here. They came here to visit all the Muslims around the locality, and also especially with the concern for all the people from the Kerala they wanted to personally meet. So they will be here having breakfast in our regular cafeteria. Brothers, they can mingle and know and share some experience that they gained also from him. Jazakallah khair.